let us program the gesture controlled car part of it. As we are seeing here, we have two motors, and while we have connected the circuit, we have seen from the L293D IC, H-bridge IC, we have connected 4 input pins, that is pin number 10, 11, 12 and 13. These digital pins should be configured in the program. Now let us do that in the program. So for programming the Arduino, I am using Arduino IDE. In Arduino sketches, we have two parts. One is void setup and one is void loop. In void setup part, we will always try to initialize the pin numbers. So which are the pin numbers that we are using? We will try to initialize the pin numbers. And in the void loop part, we will be telling how the program or how the functionality of the program will work, how the motor should move, what are its action, all those things will be given in the void loop part. So let us start coding. So to initialize the pins, so this is the syntax pin mode. As you are seeing, I am using pin number 10 as output, pin mode. So after all initializing the pin numbers, we shall also initialize the Bluetooth. After initializing all the pin numbers and the Bluetooth, now let us program for the working of the motors. So for working of the motors, for moving forward, backward, turning right, turning left, we can directly code that in a loop part, but the code will look even more bigger, and a lot of times we may have to call that. So for that reason, we will use the concept of functions here. So what are functions? Functions basically, it's a block of code, so which is written to avoid the repeated blocks. So let us use the functions now. So this is the syntax of it. If we want to turn on the pins, then we have to write like this: digital write 10, which is the pin number, and then what is the action that I am going to do that. So I want to turn it on high. So since I have two motors, for one of the motors I have programmed it. For the other motor, I am programming now. I have shown only one function over here. So similarly, we have to do it for backward, right and left. So for backward, I will be changing all the configurations to low to high and high to low. And for turning right, so the basic thing over here, so we have to observe one thing when we turn right and when we turn left. So what is the logic that I am using to turn right and left is, I am going to rotate two of the motors, one of the motor in clockwise and one in the anti-clockwise. So when I do that, say for example, if I want to turn right, so when I am turning right, what I will do is, I will turn my right motor the anti-clockwise and the left motor the clockwise. So when I do that action, you can see how the robot will move. So this is the right action. Similarly for the left, for the left motor I need to do the anti-clockwise, and for the right motor I need to do the clockwise rotation. So if I do that, see what will happen. So this is the logic I am using in this code. You can also use the other logics too. So I can make one of the motors to stop. So for example, if I want to turn right, then I will stop the right motor and only turn the left motor in the clockwise direction, that is in this way. So this will turn right. So if I want to do that for a left, then I will just stop the left motor and then turn on the right in the clockwise direction. So this is going to turn like this. So you can use any of them, but for this example I am going to use this rotation. Both the wheels I am going to rotate like this. So I am going to go the same. So after defining all the functions here, so let's go to the main loop. So I will show the final code over here in the main loop part, what will happen and how to call a function. Yeah, as you can see here, I have used also a variables here. So in this case, I have used left motor, 2 inputs, 1 and 2, the right motor 1 and 2, and respective pin numbers are given here. If you can see here, this is what been commented also. So you can also take this as a reference, and have defined one character variable also where the data input is also been taken. So in the setup part, as we have done earlier, I have defined all the pin modes, and the serial begin, the baud rate which have set it to 38,400. This is very much important. So both of our Bluetooths should be set to the same baud rates. And here comes the loop part. So in the loop part, I have used the conditions over here. So what is the condition that I have used is, so we have a serial monitor here. Whenever from my remote part of the control, like remote part of the robot, if it is like giving me the forward like F as a signal, then if that data is being read by this particular Bluetooth, then I need to move forward by taking this function, the reference to this function, I need to move forward. So the wheels will move, both the wheels will turn in a clockwise direction. This is what the action that will happen. And similar way, I am having a lot of conditions, since we have many actions like forward, reverse, right and left in the gesture control. So that way only we have the data that will be received to this particular device also, like F for forward, and if I do this action, then B will be like a character B will be transmitted, then like this character R will be transmitted, for this movement for character L will be transmitted. So you can see the same action over here, and respective functions are called when those characters are passed. Yeah, finally we have done with the code. Now it's time for us to upload it to Arduino. So to upload it to Arduino, we have to use tools. So first check the board which is connected. So we need to select Arduino Uno, because we are using Arduino Uno board for our project, and then the port. So since I have not connected my USB cable, my port is not visible. Let me connect the USB cable. And you can already see the LED is blinking in both Arduino and also in the Bluetooth. So before connecting to the Arduino, we should take out the Bluetooth part, and then we need to upload the code. So now if you go to the port, you can find Arduino Uno has been connected to COM9. So I am selecting that, and now I can easily upload the sketch. So once it is uploading, automatically the compilation will also happen. So in the compilation process, it will also check for the errors, and once the compilation is done, then it will move towards the uploading, and as you see, the uploading of the code is also done over here like this. So this is how we can upload the code for the Arduino.